Great day for you. You once again were in that position to get that elusive first moto win or first overall win. Stellar first moto, but getting out there out front early and able to open that gap. Talk about just how that dynamic kind of played itself out and how that carried over in the Moto 2 and just how that kind of unfolded. Everybody's been talking about how difficult this track was today. So kind of take us through your day and, give us some insight into how it all happened.
First moto went really good. I got up front, and I think just honestly just a clear track. I think if anyone were to get up front like I was, I think that clear track would have helped them out and got them up there, and to get to be able to take your own lines and figure it out while all the other guys are just getting cross-rutted, battling and stuff like that. So that was good for me. Second moto, I was in second behind Zach, and I kind of started tightening up a little bit. So Eli went by me, and I was going to try and learn from him, but I kind of blew up a little bit. So with 3 laps to go, I kind of ran into a lapper and lost third place, and kind of just got train rolled by all the other guys and ended up in the back. But at the end of the day, P2 for overall for the first day is not bad on the podium, so I'm stoked.
Zach, we'll jump over to you. Talk about your day. Congrats on the first win. You've been building a lot of momentum, it seems like, going from Supercross, carrying it right over in the outdoor, especially considering you came off an injury, that really sidelined you for an extended period. How is this coming about? How, are you surprising yourself a little bit with the riding? And, did you come into today feeling like this was your day? Take us through your day.
Honestly, I woke up a little bit on the wrong side of the bed. I was a little bit not in the mood for it this morning, but the track was really good when we went out. Right off the bat, I kind of felt the flow and was able to get into the mindset pretty quick. So for me, it was just an execution thing. I knew that I needed some good starts, which the first one was not great. I was around maybe 10th or so. And then the second one, obviously, with the whole shot was really, really good. So it's a great way to start. And, with this whole thing being what seems to be like a pretty fluid situation, we never know when the end's going to be as far as the series and everything goes. So I knew that it was important to strike early and, even if I didn't win today, take as many points as I could and try to build some momentum. So to get the win and take the red plate is really awesome.
Eli, moving over to you. I think a lot of people are wondering, Moto 1 was not the Eli we've come to know in outdoors. It seemed like maybe something was upsetting, something just didn't seem right. And you bounce back in a big way. Moto 2, get a podium, still get on the box. Take us through, I think a lot of people are wondering maybe what happened in Moto 1 and how it felt to at least come back and get where you believe you should be for Moto 2.
Yeah, Moto 1, it was, after like halfway, I just started going backwards, and I wasn't comfy with the lines. The ruts were crazy today. I mean, there was ruts everywhere. So if something wasn't quite right, it was in that condition. It's really easy to struggle, and that's what I was struggling with. And then made just a front end change for Moto 2. Got back to what I've been on in the past, and it worked. So obviously was a little bit behind, and Zach was riding really well. But glad to be able to somewhat normal for Moto 2 there.
Cool. We're open up to the media. Cooksey, go ahead.
So Eli, this is Chris, Cooksey Media. I saw you in practice, and have you ever been stuck like that since you've been on a big bike?
I don't think so. That was pretty funny. I mean, not funny that I lost the practice, but I jumped the little breaker bump right and then just totally stuck my front end in that mud. Yeah, it was like a bottomless pit, and then it was like quicksand mud. It just, I couldn't get that thing up, and then I had to winch it out.
And then when you were behind Zach, he was quadding out of the 10 Commandments. Did you see him doing that? And typically that's something where you're a guy that goes for the bigger sections. Did you think about that, and how come you didn't do it?
I missed that. I got told that too after the race. They're like, Zach was quadding, and I missed it. I was just doing triple, and then I would, and that was it. So I'll have to save that for next weekend, I guess.
Yeah, same track. All right. Thanks, Eli.
Thanks.
Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll stick with Eli for a minute. Was that first moto a little did it remind you a little of A1? Like, oh shit, here we go. But I have 18 motos to go. We'll make it happen.
A little bit that way. I mean, I'm always trying to improve, what I have, like my platform with what I got. And of course it didn't work during the race. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. But then I go back to my old stuff, and it was all good that way. So it's always a fine line for what works at the practice track and what you think is sweet, and you take it to the race, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Nice. And Zach, for you, I know one of the biggest hurdles going from 250s to 450s is getting over that jersey shock, the names on the back of the jerseys, and realizing you belong there. I mean, you were dominant in 250s, you move up. Now you've won 2 in a row. You won the last, I guess not Vegas. It's not Vegas. Last Salt Lake, and now this one. Are you getting to that point where you're starting to feel like every time you line up, I'm a contender for a championship, wins, etc.?
Yeah, for sure. It's coming. I mean, it's hard to make that transition. And then obviously last year I was hurt for half of the Supercross season and missed a lot of time on the bike. And then, the Salt Lake thing definitely helped me a lot as far as just overall confidence and, a sense of belonging, like you said. So now I definitely feel I'm in more of a position where I'm not like panicking. I can go out there and kind of ride the way I train and ride, within my means. I'm not like, oh, somebody's passing me this, that, the other. It's more straightforward racing, and that's what I feel I excel at.
And finally, you and Jason won two weeks in a row, two races in a row. I mean, the dynamic of that 450 team is becoming definitely one of the dominant teams in the paddock. Is it feeling any different there? Is the dynamic more a little different with the way you guys are riding?
No,
No?
it's pretty lighthearted, loose-ended.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Keep it going.
All right, Gabby.
All right, Eli, in that second moto, it looked like you made a pretty good push, almost got up even with Zach, and then he seemed to get away again. Did he make more of a charge there? Was there mistakes that you made, or what was going on at that point in moto?
I think it was both. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I got close, but then I was pushing hard to get to him, right? And then it was so easy to lose big time. Like I jacked up a corner or two, and then he would slide away like say 2 or 3 seconds, and then after that I was just like kind of ran out of time, for making those charges. We definitely had our favorite parts of the track. I felt like after the 10 Commandments, I was catching them, and then on the other side of the track, it was the other way around. He would pull me, where that old amateur finish line area is. So it was back and forth that way, and that was it. I was just giving too much away on one half the track.
Gotcha. I think at some point all 3 of you guys have won titles at Loretta's. What was it like coming back there, and how did it work as a pro level track?
Today it shaped up with a lot of good character. I think the only mistake of the day or the weekend was they ripped the track crazy deep on Friday, and then the rain came. So the thing was just, if it would have been sealed, it would have been a way better racetrack for less, sinkholes in that sense. But character building on the day, I think it worked out better than I expected for what I was thinking Loretta's would turn into for a national.
How about Zach or Jason on that too?
Yeah, I thought it would be a good track. I mean, there were a lot of concerns about it being too small or too narrow or this or that or the other, but it shaped up pretty gnarly. I mean, some of the ruts were, the one before the 10 Commandments out of that left-hander was like, I don't know, 200 feet long, and the thing was forever to get to that corner. And just like Eli said, had they not gotten so deep trying to have a press day yesterday, I think it would have been a better racetrack, but it did shape up pretty gnarly, and I think next weekend's going to be probably even better with what they learned this weekend.
Yeah, on my end, I thought the track was actually really gnarly. It was kind of shaped up better than I expected it to shape up, but all in all, I thought it was a good racetrack, and maybe a little too gnarly. It would be nice for us to be able to move around when we race, But at the end of the day, with the amount of rain we had and stuff like that, we can't complain. But yeah, hopefully they don't till it as deep before the rain comes, if it comes again next time. So crazy track.
Thanks, guys.
Weedrew, we'll go to you.
Yeah, thanks. Jason from RacerX. This is for Eli. We've kind of heard with the Supercross title and your dad, and you say that you don't necessarily see retirement in sight, that you're just in a good space. So what is it like going to the races now? Do you literally feel different mentally, or even during the week when you get on your bike? Because everything we're hearing is that you're kind of enjoying racing more than ever.
Oh, I'm still enjoying it. I don't see, I'm not saying I'm going to stop whatever next year. That's my current contract right now is through 21. So I'm not saying that's the end at all right now. So yeah, still enjoying it. Yeah, it was great to get Supercross, but that doesn't mean it's the end of me next year.
Does this help whenever someone gets married or they have a child? They're always like, oh, they're going to slow down. It doesn't seem like it's going that direction. You seem to be enjoying life at the races more than ever after this stuff.
Oh yeah, I still love it. And I just do better when my home life is good, right? And it's good right now. So that translates to better riding for me.
All right, thanks, Eli. And Zach, what you got up on the wrong side of the bed? What was the problem this morning, man?
I don't know. It's just one of those things, you wake up and, some days you can just bleed that confidence and know that everything's going to go right. And today was just not one of those days for me. I was like, oh, man, we could be under the gun right here. But luckily, like I said, I found some good flow and had a good first session, then a good second session, and then that led into the races. And my arm pump was actually quite gnarly in the first moto, from like 10 minutes to like 25 minutes. And then finally at the end, I kind of loosened up. But other than that, the motos were really good for me.
And one more for you, Zach. That pack you were in the first moto, I mean, there were like 9 of you going back and forth. Marv at one point, Cooper, Barsha moved up. Eli was in there for a while. I mean, what was that battle like? Is it different the first moto of the year when no one quite knows? Sexton was in there too, where everybody stands.
Yeah, and also today, it was what I call like a status quo track where, you're not going to go faster than, say, 157, but 2 mistakes will put you at a 204 before you can even know what happened, So that made it even more tough because the battle was quite intense. There was a lot of guys, like you said, and also you're trying to not make mistakes while still going at a decent rate of speed. So it was a techie track in the first moto for sure.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Johnny, go ahead.
Cool. It's Johnny Hopper with Cooksey Media and MX Unfiltered. Thank you, MX Sports, for having me on. This one's for you, Jason. You need to trademark that untouched jersey because you always seem to have it. And anyway, all kidding aside, with Washougal being canceled and it being across the country, does it help for recovery having you guys just literally be home based in Tennessee, having 2 rounds back to back? Or are you guys going home? Or are you guys staying?
I'm going home. I got my flight out in the morning, so just to Florida is not that far, and I think it's just gonna be like a normal weekend. We're just coming back to the same track. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna change much going here or Washougal. Only thing is we don't have to fly out on Thursday to go to Washougal from Florida. So yeah, it's basically just normal for us right now. Awesome.
One more for Osborne. Osborne, it looked like you were the only rider that was by the mechanics area where you were step on, step offing before that little tabletop. Do you think something simple like that was a contributing factor to your performance? And do you know why some of the other riders weren't following suit? Looked like you were kind of hopping off over a big gnarly bump there.
Yeah, I actually saw some guy. I watched a ton of motos last week from the amateur race and just kind of did some research, and I saw some guys doing it last week. And then this morning I saw some guys doing it in the 250 practice, and I just didn't like that triple turning. And also when you triple, you get in that bump and then you go up the face, and it's just kind of a lot of energy. So I felt like I could go scrub and then jump on, jump off, or double, whatever you want to say. I just felt like it was a big energy saver for me. And it's for me more easy and more consistent than trying to triple. Those ruts on the face were quite gnarly. AC crashed there big on the first lap or second lap of the second moto. So, I just felt like it was a safer option.
Yeah, well, looks smooth. Thanks, guys.
Anyone else? Weed, go ahead.
Yeah, this one is for Jason. You alluded to it on the podium in the first moto, but you're saying that even though you're not with Alden Baker, you're still doing a lot of similar stuff and some of the guys you're riding with. So just give us an idea of what your program is these days.
Yeah, I mean, basically the same stuff. Basically, I ride my road bike. I go do my motos at the track and stuff like that. I just, everyone thinks like it's like a huge change and everything like that. And it's not really so much of a change. I mean, maybe I change a little bit of stuff on my gym, or maybe I'm not on the road ride at 8 a.m. Sometimes I sleep in now, so that's about it. But for the most part, it's similar. I'm doing the same amount of hours of training a week, just maybe mixing it up, changing it up a little bit. But one thing, I have not touched a rowing machine since I stopped working with him, because I am not down with that thing.
I know you and Zach and everybody at your team has fun on the weekends, but you've got a pretty dynamic group of personalities, I think, that you ride with. Are you with the Lawrence brothers and Dean? So there's got to be some fun there Monday through Friday.
Yeah, honestly, our whole group that we have Monday through Friday is awesome. It's Hunter Lawrence, Jet Lawrence, me, and Dino, and it's just kind of us four. And we ride at the 83 compound, which is Reed's old place. And but at the same time, we always decide to try and go ride to other places. So we have in Florida, luckily there's a bunch of tracks and a bunch of people have facilities and stuff like that. But it's cool because we keep it low key and we enjoy ourselves, but at the same time we're grinding. We're working hard. But between Jet and Hunter, it's nice to have that youth. You know what I'm saying? So it's just they're very enthusiastic every day. You show up to the track and they're always spunky. And then me and Dean, we've been friends, so we really just try and help each other out. If he does better than me, I'm happy for him. If I do better than him, I think I think he's happy for me. But it's a good dynamic we have, and I'm enjoying it.
Thank you.
Cool. Johnny, go ahead.
Eli, this is a question for you, man. Does it bother you guys that a rookie comes in like Chase Sexton and has the fastest qualifying time, just sort of like AC did in Supercross? Or are you guys just like, it's motocross qualifying, it doesn't mean as much as, say, a heat race for Supercross?
Oh gosh, if he does it like 9 weekends in a row like AC, yeah, then it's gonna bother me. But I don't know if it's 1 or 2, then kind of whatever, because there's always a big learning curve that way. So I don't know. We'll see what he does.
Cool.
Kellen, go ahead.
Yeah, Kellen Brower from RacerX. This question is for Zach. Zach, you seemed to excel when the track was getting worse and worse throughout the motos, and as a bit of a smaller guy with a more unique riding style, what do you attribute to feeling comfortable in those type of conditions?
Growing up on the East Coast, mostly. I mean, that's kind of the stuff that I rode every day as a young kid, and that's where I'm most comfortable. Also, like when I was in Europe, the deep rutted tracks were my best tracks, just so happened to be. And I guess, that was one thing that I leaned on when I came back here was like, you're good in the deep ruts or whatever. So it's just a confidence thing more than anything. I believe, I would say I tend to struggle more on the really hard stuff with a lot of throttle control. That's just not my style at all. And that's not how I ride. So today kind of suited me down to the ground.
All right. Anyone else? Cool. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations on a good day. And I think we'll see you next week. And thanks again for making this happen.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
See you, everyone.